it became practiced in the Ayurveda, and he created texts. That is what the story tells, or the mythology tells. So, Padartha Vijnanam originated from the basic principles, and the practice is Triskandha Ayurveda, that is Hedu, Linga, and Aushadha. Simply telling, Ayurveda is dealing about the causative factors of the disease, that is etiology, and the diagnosis, that is Nidana, Hedu, Linga, and Aushadha, the treatment protocol. So these are the concise, or when you make it simple, these are the three things: Hedu, Linga, and Aushadha. So they are the siddhantas to be applied. So whatever the Samanya Vishesha Siddhanta, it can be explained in Ayurveda, and it can be practiced for a disease manipulation. So we shall see what is it. So what is the application? Application is just chikitsa only in Ayurveda. And Ayurveda is a prayogika shastra. It is not a mimamsa or something. It is a prayogika shastra that patient is having pain in the body, and we have to relieve it. And nahi jivita dana adi dana manyat vishishyate. Whatever may be the greatest thing what we can give to a human being is that giving the life and relieving the pain of the patient. This is what the entity of Ayurveda is. From Karuna only Ayurveda was originated. From the empathy only Ayurveda was created by the Munis who had no personal things. That is, Rishis has no personal things. They were doing it for the empathy, from the empathy of patient to relieve the disease from the patient's body. So, prayoga shamaye ityadhi. So, what the prayoga is, it should relieve the disease from the patient. Okay. So, this can be divided into widely two things. That is swasthasya swasthirakshanam, that is preventive aspect, and adurasya vigara prasavanam, that is curative aspect. So that is also told by Charaka only. Then what are the principles we are utilizing in the treatment? Different principles are there. Concisely, I will deal with the principles we are utilizing. That is, in Ayurveda, see the man as a human being as a Purusha. And Purusha has got different entities, and they are concised into Atma, Manas, Indriya, and Sharira. So, when a Purusha gets a disease, it can originate in any of these levels. It can originate in the Atma level, it can originate in the mental level, or it can originate in the Indriya level, or it can be originated in the body level. So, we have evolved a treatment methodology so that in the holistic approach, all these areas of the Purusha can be dealt in treatment. So, even in the world itself, Loka Purusha Nyaya, Loka Purusha Samya, in Loka also it is there. We say God or something positive factor for this world. Like that, that is, there are two things which can be directly seen and which is indirectly we can think about it. So, if though directly we cannot see the Atma, its presence can be felt. So, Purusha Siddhanta encompasses all these areas, that is Atma, Manas, Indriya, and Purusha, Indriya and Sharira. So we have that principle, and I will be explaining that. And Ragadi Roga Siddhanta, mental disorders may the psychosomatic diseases. When a disease originates in the side, it has effect in the body, and when there is a disease in the body, it can be affected in the mind also. So that is Ragadi Roga Siddhanta. Ashtanga Hridayara Vakpada first sloka itself tells about Ragadi Roga Siddhanta. Ragadi Roga Sahaja Samula in Ashtanga Sangraha. Ragadi Roga and Satata Anushaktan. in Ashtanga Hridaya also. So these are very much related, body and mind, and that also how it is the clinical experiences we will be having in the patient and how we can diagnose it. These things we shall go into detail. Then Samanya Vishesha Siddhanta, it is applied in the body, that dosha is only dosha level or body level. So the utility of Samanya Vishesha Siddhanta is Dravya, Guna and Karma, and Panchabhuta also. And Tridosha Siddhanta, Ama Siddhanta, Karya Karana Siddhanta, Chikitsa Siddhanta, and Rasayana Siddhanta. So we shall see. So Jara Chikitsa depicts old Ayurveda. So formerly in Kerala, there was the Vaidyas of Kerala. Formerly they were teaching the first 14 chapters of the Ashtanga Hridaya that deals about the principles. Then they will teach only the Jwara Chikitsa. Those who have intellect, they can understand the principles and the practical utility can be seen in the Jwara Chikitsa. So what are the principles told in the Sutrasthana of Ashtanga Hridaya? It is the practical approach in the Jwara Chikitsa. So when you study the Jwara Chikitsa, the different avasthas of the disease, you can apply it in any of the diseases what it may in any of the diseases. So when you learn properly the Jwara Chikitsa, we can apply it in other diseases also. So I take Jwara Chikitsa as a classical example of Prayoga Shastra of the principles. So we shall see principles and practice of medicine. Principles, Sutrasthana, and practice is in the treatment methodology that is adapted in the Jwara Chikitsa. Okay, so first one, the Siddhanta is Purusha Siddhanta. Purusha Sharirendriya Sattvatma Samyogo Dhari Jividam Nityagascha Anubandhascha Paryaye Ayuruchyate. So Sharira, Indriya, Sattva, Atma Samyoga is Purusha. So in any of these areas, disease may originate. So accordingly, we have to identify it, we have to treat it. This is the basic principles we have to know. Okay. So the disease lakshanas or the symptoms may be in the body, but the causative factors may be in the mind, and there may be symptoms in the mind, but the causative factor may be in the body also. So these things we have to differentiate and diagnose, and accordingly the treatment methodology also changes. So these we have to take into consideration. Ayurveda is having a holistic approach that it encompasses all the areas of the life. So life is Ayu, and it has got different areas. Even the treatment methodology described in Ashtanga Hridaya, we shall come into that. Even the familial patterns, familial problems may make the disease. So we have to talk to the patients and go into the details of the thoughts of the patient and find out, is it related with familial matters, and when that problem is addressed, the disease will come down. So it is not only the physical things we are going to treat, other things also, the mental things, and even in the Atma level, we have to do treatment. Okay, so what are the Atma level of treatment methodology we are doing? Shuddhe Shuklartave Sattva Swakarma Klesha Chodidaha Gartha Sambhav. And the Saishaniya chapter of Charaka tells about our life is a continuation of the life in the Purva Janma. So the Atma is always passing through different Janmas, and Prarthana Karma, Purva Karma can cause a disease. It can be, in modern terminology, we can say it is congenital, unknown etiology also. So we don't know the causative factor, or it may be from the congenital factors. So we tell it as Purajanma. Purajanma. Dushtavajarja kaschit purvavaradhaja tat sangaradhavandyanyo vyadhaya. It is told in the Ashtanga. Tat sangaradhavandyanyo vyadhayaha. So like that, even in Kushta also, Purvarjita karma can give rise to Kushta, skin disorders like that. It is told in the text. So maybe, we don't know, there are some of the factors which can result in the disease that we have to find out. And treatment methodology also is prescribed for Atma level in the text. So, is it correct? We don't have faith in our own Charaga, etc. sometimes. But parapsychological study, this is a book called Many Lives, Many Masters, a true story of a prominent psychiatrist, his young patient and past life therapy, and changed both their lives. This is by Dr. Brian Weiss. He is a professor of university in the US, and he has done some experiences about the Purajanma, etc. This is parapsychological study, and treated that lady, and she was okay. So there is some areas we should tell that in Charaga something the Acharya tells, he knows everything, he has gone through many experiences, it may be correct. So if we don't have an experience, we should not tell that it is not at all there. There may be people who have got experiences, and I have very much faith in the textual scriptures, and also so there is an area in modern also like that correlating with this. Okay. So there is Ragadi Yoga Siddhanta also, psychosomatic relation of the disease, psycho-neuro-endocrine relation, psycho-immunological relation. So there is three things: psych, neuro, endocrine. When mind is agitated, nerves will be agitated, endocrine glands may be agitated, endocrine secretions will be disordered. So mind is the main thing for bondage, disease, and happiness. So we have to correct the mind, and it is very much important. That is why Ashtanga Hridayara has told that Ragadi Rogan Satatan Shaktan Ashesha Kaya Prasatan Asheshan Autsukya Moharadidan Jakana Yo Apurva Vaidyaya Namostu Sasme. He is Apurva Vaidya who finds the causative factors in that are situated in the mind itself, and relieves the disease, corrects the mind, and keeps the doshas in equilibrium, and swasthata is maintained. He is called as a Apurva Vaidya. So everybody, all Vaidya should become an Apurva Vaidya who should go into the mind of the patient and finds out cause of the disease and relieve the cause, and Hetu Vaishamyat Yoga. When the Hetu is Vaishamya is relieved, disease comes down. So that is very much important in the treatment methodology. So in Hridaya Bodhika Vyakhyana, he says, Manas Sharira Yostava Parasparam Abhiprajet Adhar Adheya Bhudatva Tapta Jagadayurya. When the pot is hot, it will lead to the hotness of the ghee situated in the pot. And the ghee, when heated, it will heat the pot also. So tapta ajya khada. That mind, when it is diseased, it will result in bodily disorders also. And when bodily disorders are there, it will affect the mind also. So Ragati Roga, disease is a river originating from the mountain of mind and spreading to the land of the body. So that we have to find out. How we can find out? we shall see uncertainty and Trishnadidham asat vikalpa sirasam pradvesha chanchathanam kama krodha visham vitarka dasanam raga prajandekshanam mohasyam swasharira godanasayam chittoragam darunam prajna mantra balenaya samitavan buddhaya tasmai namah. Ashtanga Sangraha first shloka he tells the uncertainty, affection, suspicion, hatred, desire, all are the vishas or the toxic material situated in the body or and in the mind, and it spreads to the body. So my serpent is called as mind, which has got these types of venoms, and mind as a serpent. So this can be controlled by prajna, knowledge, and also mantra bala. Mantra also can be used, he says. So this we say that such types, and this is one of the books you should go through, the biology of belief and belief and treatment. Bruce Lipton has cleared a congenital wart. This is the experience of him, congenital wart by psychological approach. So Ashtanga Charaka also tells Jnana Buddhi Pradipena Yona Vishadi Tattvavid Adurasya Andaratmanam Rasadogam Chikitsas. First, for the treatment methodology, we have to have a very good understanding with the patient. We should be like the son or daughter the father loves, like that we have to love the patient and go into the, and there should be a communication with the patient and go into the details of the mind of the patient and treat. The Jnana Buddhi Pradipa, the illumining thing is Jnana, knowledge. Buddhi Pradipena yo anavishati tattvavit. When you are not entering into the mind of the patient, you cannot treat. So we have to enter into the mind of the, there should be a relation between patient, a close relation with patient. So he will tell all the problems out to you, and you can suggest, you can counsel him and relieve the pain of the patient. Whether it is in body or whether it is in the mind, we can have a good result from such a Jnana Buddhi Pradipa if we are having. So in Ragadi Yoga Siddhanta is applied even in Jwara. Jwara, he says, Paba, Ojoshananda, etc. Paba, Adharma. Adharma is from the Paba, it comes Ojoshanantaga. It results in the relation between the, we can say, Ojas is a secretion in the body that is psycho-neuro-humoral axis. What we have explained, even it is told in the Sanskrit words that Paba is the entering in the mind, and it decreases the ojas, that is humoral, the disease is originated, and it goes into the body also, and disease is originated. So these are in the Sanskrit terms only, but it has got the implication in the modern age also. So we have to relate it. Gaurmanasyam Avrishyana. And he says Gaurmanasyam Avrishyana. If you have Gaurmanasya, and Manas is, or our mind is not at all, when mind is deranged, it becomes, and such things like depression, etc. In such conditions, it will cause infertility also. Avrishyana, Gaurmanasyam Avrishyana, Vishado Rogavarthanana, and it causes the increase of the disease. So I have clinical practice about these things also. A patient was having infertility for many years. So he was staying in a place where other family members were staying, and there he had always quarreling with the family members. And I asked him, from my consulting, I found out that his mind is very much agitated. So I told him, you take a rented house and stay with your wife, and we shall see what happens. And I have some medicines, that's all, nothing. After 6 months, the wife was pregnant, because this man was very happy without any quarrels, etc. He was staying in the rented house without nobody else. Wife is there, and they had a very happy married life. So he got the wife became pregnant also. So such a clinical experience, this Daurmanasya Avrishya, it has a implication, direct implication in my practices. I have seen that. So when the mind, there are different clinical experience we can tell. Because of time, I can tell only this. So in such conditions, we have my mental treatment also. My controlling the mind will result in the physical treatment, physical diseases also. So Yukti, Sattva and Daiva Chikitsa. The Yukti Vyapashaya, Sattva Vajaya and Daiva Vyapashaya Chikitsa. See, Nityam Hidahara Vihara Sevi, Samichagari, Vishayeshwa Sakta, Dada Asama Satya Varakshamavan, Apto Abasevija, Bhavatyaru. Who will be healthy? Nityam Hidahara Vihara Sevi. That is Yukti Vyapashaya Chikitsa. That is Shadiraja Yogas. Nitya Hita Ahara Vihara Sevi will be healthy. If you are taking wholesome food, wholesome exercises, and also if sleep is okay, it is Yukti Vyapashaya, and body health can be maintained, and even in the treatment we can have this implication. And Samichagadi Vishayesha Sakta, you have to do the things which are clear to our mind, and Samichagari, everything should be seen. Vishayesha Sakta, you should not have to have bondage with other worldly affairs. So we can have, we can remove the Sattva-vajaya chikitsa or mental diseases. And Dada Sama, Daiva Vyapa for that, Daiva Vyapashaya, even though our bodily health preserving food and our mind will be okay, there may be diseases originating from Purvavaradhaja or something. For that, Dada, we have to give donations. We Satyavaraha, after keeping Satyavadina Vakrotham, that Rasayana also, it's a Rasayana also. So truth, and also that is Daiva Vyapashaya, it will relieve the Purvavaradhaja Pavas also, and such a holistic approach Ayurveda has got. See, so Indriya concept in treatment. So we told about Atma, Manas, and also next we are coming to Indriya concept in the treatment. Mind and body are nourished by Indriyarthas. See, in a Dinacharya Adhyaya, when we get up, what are the things to be done? That is described in the Ashtanga Sangraha, Charaga, Sushruta, and also Ashtanga Sangraha. Brahme Muhurta Uttishte, Swastho Reksharthamayusha, Sharira Chandam Nirvartya, Krita Shauja Vidhistada, all these things. And in Ashtanga Sangraha, he says, you should hear good music. Mangala Ashtashadam, Mangala Ashtashada you have to hear, and you have to see good things. So all the Indriyas, all the 5 Indriyas, sensory Indriyas are nourished, so that it is the mind will be inspired from the Indriyarthas, these Vishayas, and he will be having health. So mind is very much related with the Vishayas. If you give the mind good sensory applications, certainly mind also will be healthy. If you are if you are doing bad things to see, bad things to hear, bad things to touch everything, it will result in disease also. So, five sensory factors should be perfect so that we can keep health. Even it can be used in the hospitals also. All these things we will be dealing with the next. Okay, so Dinacharya, he says about treatment, sensory level. Agasha, Vachanam Hradi. We have to see good words. Agasha, Shabda. Mantra Japa, Shastram, Vichitram, and also Vayu Sparsha, Mani, Aushadhi, Ratna, and Agni, Rupa, Manojna Darshana, and Jala, Rasa, Ruchikara Rasa, and Prithvi, Gandha, Aparadi, Rupa. These things are told in the Pitta Chikilsa. Pittasya Sarpishapanam, Swadu Shiter Virejanam, Swadu Dikta Kashayani, Bhojananya Ushadhan, Sugandhi Shida Hrityanam, Gandhanam Pasevani. This is aroma therapy. And there is a modern, there is a different elaborated version of aromatherapy, different types of smells, how it has got impact in the mind. They study about it, and in the body also. And even color therapy, there is a therapy called color therapy. What you see in types of colors, it will have implication in the body and also mind. So even these are very much explained, not maybe elaborate, but concisely everything has been united in the Ayurvedic way of treatment. So these principles, because our body is made up of Panchabhutas, and Akasha is Shabda, Vayu is Sparsha, Agni is Rupa. So everything, Jala, Rasa and Prithvi, everything in the perfect way when we are giving to the body, we can keep our health. And in the disease condition, to inspire the patients to decrease the disease, we can utilize all these five factors. So that is in Indriya level, what treatment we can adapt. Okay. And also he says in the Jwara chapter, Jwaragala Smritim Chasya Hari Bhir Vishayer Hari. Hari Vishaya means Manohara, that pacifies our mind. That types of Vishayas we have to use. If we see a flower, if we see a peacock dancing, just by the vision, just by seeing it, it has got an impact in the body and also in the mind, so that we will be happy. The happiness spreads into the mind, from the mind to the body. So every factors of sensory levels, Indriyas, Panchabhuta Indriyas, and its Vishayas has impact in our body. So we have to utilize all these things. Karunardram Manashuddham Sarvajwara Vidashanam. Karunardramana. How we can attain Karunardramana? We should go in the right pathway, what is described in the Ayurveda. So we can keep health, we can treat the disorders also. So then next, Sharira level, Yukti Vyapasaya Chikitsa. There are tripods of health, that is Ahara, Vyayama and sleep. When they are kept in the equilibrium or in the right fashion, health is preserved. There is one story about a Vaidya in Kerala. The mythology says that Ashwini Devas came in disguise and asked this Vaidya how we can keep health. So he told it was parrots. They were asking, Koruk, Kaha Aruk, who will be healthy? Like the sound of the peacock or parrot, it was asking. So he told a sloga, Nityam Hita Mita Bhoji, Krita Sangramana, Kramena Vamashaya, Avitata Mutra Purisho, Strishu Yadatma Soru. That concisely, there are three things which are told: Ahara, Vyayama, and sleep. When they are right, you are healthy. So what we are doing in treatment is we can utilize Ahara in the proper manner, Vyayama in the proper manner, sleep in the proper manner, so that the disease subsides and he becomes healthy person. So these reports can be used. So Tridosha concept is the main principle applied in Sharira Janya Vyadhi. So Tridosha has effect in mind also, but the principle applied in Sharira Janya Vyadhi is called as Tridosha. For mind there is doshas also, Rajas and Tamas, that is described, and it has got some relation with the Tridosha also. It depends upon Yukti Vyavasya, and this is Yukti Vyavasya Chikitsa. And Vrtha, that is Vrtha Kshapaidavya, Kshinaha Varthaidavya, Sama Palaidavya. In the fashion of Dravya, Guna and Karma that we will be explaining, utilizing Samanya Vishesha in the Dravya, Guna and Karma level will keep the body in healthy condition. Okay. So this is a case report. A Yukti Vyavasya Chikitsa, we adapted a case. The case was Sanivada Jwara, as such I identified. His name was Mr. Ramakrishnan, 41, male, and he was in from Medapal. Presenting complaints were purpuric spots all over the body, subcutaneous ulcerating nodules in thigh and ankle. He was having fever, and also after fever, purpuric spots develops, and ulcerating nodules also, and bleeding occurs. So it looked like a Sannipada Jwara. And the modern people, they have identified it as systemic vasculitis. I thought that from my knowledge of basic principles of Ayurveda, I identified it as Sannipada Jwara. In Sannipada Jwara, there will be bleeding. And he was having Jwara also, fever always, and inflammatory processes were there, and bleeding was there. So accordingly, I felt that Pitta is increased, and he was having bleeding also with there is Drava is increased. So I found out that it is Pitta, Kapha, Jwara, Morley, those and Nivada, these are increased. So I prescribed accordingly the condition as Pitta, Kapha predominance. Kleda, Srava, Ushna, Drava are increased. So what the treatment we can adapt is Shida, Ruksha, Dravya. It should be Shida for decreasing the Pitta, Ruksha for Kapha, Kleda will subside. So Shida Ruksha Dravyas I found out in Jwara chapter itself, that is Kirata Tiktakam Tikta, Musta Parpadago Murda, Handi Pita Anijabhyasat, Punaravartaka Jwara. It's in the condition of Punaravartaka Jwara, Kirata Tiktaka, Musta Parpadaga Amrda. Very simple medicine. Kirata Tiktaka, Tikta, Musta, Parpadago, Amrda. Okay. So, Kirata Tiktakam, Tikta, Musta, Parpadago, Amrda. Handi Pidani Jabhyasa Punaravarti. This is Shida and Ruksha, and Kashaya was taken, and though he had taken steroids, etc., many times, continuously I gave this for 6 months, and everything was cured. He was not getting fever, and no ulcerating nodules, ulcerations were stopped, and he was very happy, and he took the Kashaya for 6 months also. Now he is okay, he is here, no problems of these developed. So we can, I am telling, we have a strong principles, a very good foundation of the principles. I have experience in Kottakkal Ayurveda College. We had a foreigners course from Duisburg University, Germany, and I was a coordinator of their studies in Ayurveda. All of the doctors were PG in MS, MD, etc. All are doctors. They have, our students will not be having much, our students will not be having so much confidence. They were having very much confidence in Ayurveda, and they were treating with Ayurvedic medicines also there. And we had training here in Kottakkal Ayurveda College, and I was going to Duisburg University and taking classes. So some of the doctors, even in the diabetician, one lady was diabetician, and she was advocating our medicine, and she was telling, we have got very good, you have got very good principles, and I can get very good relief for the diabetes. We can control or decrease the medicines of diabetes if we are giving Ayurvedic medicines. We should have confidence, we should have faith in Ayurvedic principles and do treatment, and certainly it will be effective. So, Sannibadadwara, he says, Kothanam, Syavaraktanam, Mandalanam, Chadarshanam. This is what this clinical symptom we were seeing. So, Kiradikta Kashayam was very good, effective. So, coming to the point of chikits, what are the basic principles we have to stress upon is, there should be a treatment protocol for all diseases, and Ayurveda tells about it. The protocol can be 7 times. That is, first, any disease, if it comes, we have to do Langhana. Because disease is called as Amaya, Prayena Ama Samuthatvad Amaya. Almost all the diseases comes from Ama only. That is, due to the toxicity level of the body. There may be Sodorodha, and Sodas will be initiated by the Ama. From Ahara, Ama is originated, and it results in the cases of diseases. So, first thing we have to do is Upavasa. Soda Shuddhi should be made by Upavasa and Divanapachana. So, whatever the medicines we are giving inside will be absorbed to the body, and it will get effect. If we are not doing Divanapachana and Langhana, the medicines will not be that much effective, because due to the Sodorodha. So, purification by Langhana and Divanapachana should be done first. After that, when we are giving Sneha Sweda, Sneha internally, and Swedana also, the malas will come into, or the toxic materials in the body will come to the Koshta, and we can do Panchakarma Shodhana, and purification fully we can attain by Shodhana therapy. After that only, if a hospital patient, we have to adapt Shamana therapy then, so that the disease is subsided, and after that, after Shamana, we have to give strength to the body to resist against the diseases. Immunity should be increased, for that Grita Prayoga, and finally, almost all the disease treatment chapters end with Rasayana Prayoga. Even in Prameha, Ashtanga Hridayagara and Charaka also tells after Prameha, Shilajadu Tula Madhya Pramehartha Punarnava. The final thing is Rasayana Prayoga. So that body is rejuvenated and it resists again the diseases. So we have to end the treatment protocol with Rasayana, starting from Lankhana and ending in Rasayana Prayoga. This is the treatment protocol we have to adapt in any diseases. According to the conditions, we can change medicines. Different medicines are prescribed in each chapters of the diseases, but this is a protocol we have to adapt in any of the conditions. Sometimes there are exceptional cases where the body is not healthy. First thing we should do Shamana therapy, because he cannot undergo Lankhana because he is not having strength. Those who have strength, we should adapt all these things. If patient has strength, we have to adapt these 7 methods. Otherwise, Shamana can be done, and when he gets the strength, we can do Shodhana, all these things we can do. Okay, so the Samanya Vishesha Siddhanta tells, in one disease itself, we can see different types of medicines are prescribed. See, I am telling some example. Ushnam Ushnena Samvruddham Pittam Sharadi Gupyate. Chidashide Kabhaschavam Basante Samudire. This is in Jara Chikitsa. From Ushna also Paitika Jara occurs. From Shida Kabha Jara occurs. These are entirely different conditions. How we can treat with one medicine for Jara? No. So we have to see this differentiation. So accordingly, in treatment we can see the Akshadi Kashaya is told in the Paitika Jara. So we have to identify Pitta Jara Lakshanas you should go through the text. What are the Lakshanas seen? Daha will be seen in such conditions. You cannot adapt these Trigadu Churna, etc. in such conditions, or spicy Kashayas cannot be given in the conditions of Ushna Janya, Paitika Jara, we cannot adapt. So Shida should be given, that is Drakshadi. And there is many Kashayas told in the chapter, that is Ghanachandara Shundyam Puparpados, Shidam Tebhyo Hidam Doyam Padanam Jwarabaham Shadangam Kashayam, it is Shida, that we can adapt in the conditions of Paitika Jwara. While in Kabha Jwara, we can have Dashamula Kadutraya, that is in Sahasra Yoga, or in other things, Pippali, etc. can be given. It will decrease the Kabha. So we have to see the dosha which is involved in the disease. Yatha Pakshi Parivatan Sarvada Sarvamapyaha Chaya Matyedinatmiya. If you treat the doshas, we can get result. Don't see the conditions of the disease as such. We have to see the dosha only. While dealing with the dosha itself, you can get result. 1 minute. Please excuse me. 1 minute.
It's okay, sir.
Okay. In between, an interested cat came here. Sorry. Dakshadi and DMK. So these different conditions we can find out and we should identify and treat. Okay. Even so, how we can adapt the treatment? We can use Dravya guna or karma, Siddhanta can be advocated. In Jara itself, he says, Pradadyat Mamsa Satnyaya Juridaya Jarabha. This is in modern era we are doing. Those who have got anemia, we used to give Rakta itself. So, if Mamsa is decreased, Dravya itself can be given. And that is the most suitable things to give. But every way we cannot give. We cannot give Mamsa for a person who is vegetarian. So we have to take Guna, the quality which has got Mamsa. So Devya Mamsa Kya Mamsa can be. Daurbalya Dehadhaduna Jaro Jirno Anuvartade Balli Sabrimhane Tasmat Ahari Tamupajani. We have seen in the conditions of tuberculosis or Dajayakshma, Acharya tells about giving Mamsa. In such conditions, by the Brahmana only Jwara will come down. We cannot, after Shuddhi, after purification of the Sodasas, we have to give Mamsa. And Acharya tells about Mamsa with Madhya can be given. Madhya will purify the Sodas and Mamsa will go into the tissues and it will relieve the Rajayakshma. Or Brahmana can be done and disease subsides. So we have to see different conditions of the disease. So this can be Pradadya, Mamsa Satnyaya, Dvaridaya, Dvara. Divya Siddhanta. Divya can be given. And Kshira as Brahmana in Jwara. Tadvapur London of Tattam. Though we need a Brahmana in the cases of Kshira conditions where Mamsa has been decreased, Mamsa cannot be taken. In such conditions, Guna can be taken as the principle behind it. We can give Kshira. Kshira has got the qualities, Snitha, Shira qualities, so that it becomes Brahmana for the patient. We can adapt Guna. We are doing Guna. We are thinking in the lines of Guna. So Dravya can be used, Guna can be advocated, and Karma for a person who needs a Brahmana. Abhyayama is a Brahmana, as Brahmana. We know those who are doing too much exercises, he gets a Vadiga disorder. Ask him to take food and Vyayama should be restricted. Abhyayama can be done. He will become, he can be managed with the Brahmana. Okay. So even Panchabhuta Siddhanta we are utilizing. I already told it. Agasha, Shabda, etc. We have already told. This is also very important in the treatment of diseases, Panchabhuta Siddhanta, because body is made up of Panchabhutas. Accordingly, we can utilize it. Okay. So Panchakarmas can be done. That also depends upon the Panchabhuta principle only. Vamana, Jala, purification of 5 Panchabhutas. Jala, Vamana, Virechana, Agni, and Anuvasana is Vayu, and Asthavana is Akasha, and Nasya is Prithvi Tattva. Because Panchabhuta, when you purify the Panchabhutas, body will get health. So, in disordered conditions where we Panchabhuta treatment, when we are thinking in that terms, if Jala is increased, you can do Vamana. So, in Jwara chapter itself, Tattvotklishthe, Sabutklishte, Kaphapraye, Chale Male, Sahillasa Prasega, Annatve, Shakasa Vishnutige, Satyo, Bhuttasya Sajjade. In that conditions, Vamana is concerned. There you need not do Snehasveda itself, because already in the doshas are the Utklishta stage. Just by Vamana Devya, that is Madana Bhala, with honey, Vamana occurs. Just nothing. No need of sneha. Because that condition we are making in the body for Vamana, that is already there in the body means you need not go to Snehana and Svedana. It's already there. It is Uttishta Avastha. It has come. It is going to come out. In such condition, just a Madana Phala Churna will give a proper vomit. So such things we are doing in these principles only, Panchabhuta principles, Jala, Agni, Virechana. We know that Mridu Koshtha is increased Agni or Pitta, Bahu Pitta. That makes Virechana. So that is a treatment methodology for Pitta also. And Anuvasana Vayu, these things. Okay. So we have to find out these things. Dosha is Dravya and Guna. There are 20 gunas. Gurumanda, Himasnigdha, Slakshana Sandra Mudusthida, opposite. If heaviness is in that body weight is increased, what we to tell him? We are asking him to decrease the diet or do upavasa so that the Ku is increased and heaviness is decreased. So just by the opposite gunas, if we give, we can treat. Manda and Tichna, these things, duality principles, we can adapt. Shita, Ushna. If Shita is increased, Ushna can be that guna. And karma also, we say bigger, two types of karmas are Avigrta and Vigrta. Doshadhatu malamulam tada dehas utsaha uchvasa nishwasa cheshta vega pravartani. That describes Avigrta karma. And Vigrta karma is Karshik Ashtoshtagamitra, Kambana, Hashagringrahan, like that. So we have to see the karmas. Accordingly, which karma has been increased, we have to give the opposite karmas by which it will decrease. Or the equilibrium is maintained on the doshas. So Vritti Kshaya is treated by Guna, Dravya and Karma. Okay. So these are the principles we have to. And Tridosha Siddhanta in Jwara, Vadiga Jwara, Lucha, Chala, qualities are increased in Vadiga Jwara. And Vedana or Vishama, Snigdha. Wow. So what we have to Vedana or Vishama, in such conditions, we are just doing opposite qualities are given. That is Shakpala Grita. It is Snigdha and also Sthiratva is Sthiraguna. So that opposite qualities, Dravya, will subside the doshas. That is Vata. So Viparidam Jvaroshmanam Jayet Pittam Jashaityada Sneha Vadam Kritam Tulyam Yoga Samskara Dakkam. So we can make a combination of it. By Dravyas, Viparidam Jvaroshmanam. It is just opposite to Jvara, Grida. And Pittam Jashaityada. As it is Shaitya, it will be even Vada, Pitta can be managed by this. And when you use Shakpala, it decreases kapha. So there are some of the drugs, some of the yogas which can be advocated in any condition. Sannivada can be managed like that. Yoga samskarana kapha. So kapha, vada, pitta can be subsided when pacified by one drug itself. That is the difference between the single drugs and yogas. Single drugs, that can be utilized in only one condition. While yoga has a holistic approach, it it subsides or keeps the equilibrium and maintains health. All the holistic approach will be seen in the yogas. No doshas will be increased. No doshas are these three doshas, though they are different, having different gunas, will be subsided by a utilization of drugs in a proper manner. This is an example for that. Kritam, Shakmana Krita can be utilized in any of the conditions of Vada, Pitta or Kapha, so that it pacifies everything and keeps the equilibrium of doshas. So Pitta Jara, Tikshana Guna, Yugabad Vyapti, these Lakshanas are seen. So in such conditions, Dakshadi, Tiktagam, Shadangam, Krita can be used. They all pacifies the Pitta. And Kavaja Jara, Guru, Manda, Snigdha are increased. And such conditions, the opposite things like Dashamula Kadutraya, Amrudottaran Kashayas, etc. Dashamula Kadutraya are the ingredients. So it decreases the kapha and it can be given. So Ama Siddhanta also we have to take into consideration first. Ama Siddhanta, Soto Amahashim Pradishya, Ama Manugamya Pithayaja, like that it says. So Landhana, Chabide Doshe, Deepta Iknaulaka Vesadi, Swasthya. Then by Landhana, the Ama will be decreased and it can be adapted in any condition of the disease because all are Amaya, Ama Samuttatva, Prayana Ama Samuttatva. So we can give Vavasa in the early conditions of the disease, almost all the diseases. Even Ushna Jala, Shadangam Kashayam can be given with that. Ushna Jala has got the quality of making sotos shuddhi. Warm water, hot water, it purifies the sotuses. That is why in Jara, we have to study that. Krishnaga alpa alpa mushna ambu pibe badaka bhajjare tat kabham vilayam nitva trishnamashu nivartaye udirya jadrim srodamsi mrudu kritya vishodhaye dina pitanila sveda shakran mutranuloganam nidra jadyaruchiharam prananam avalamban. Just by hot water, we can purify the sotuses, decrease the ama condition, decrease the dosha, kapha dosha, and purifies the sotuses, and jara will come down. So this is very much effective in the COVID conditions. When you take Ushna Jala always, hot water, the possibility of COVID is very less, very, very less. And some of the cases I have seen that we put some turmeric also. It is very much effective. And one of the ministers of Kerala, he was publicly telling that though I was going into the all areas and I was not even strict on using mask, I did not get. Why? Because I was taking hot water always and with the turmeric I was using. So such, and he says, if even the water, when you are utilizing in the according to the principles of Ayurveda, it will get result. Even the Ushna Jala, when it is taken in the cold condition, cold water, it has got a just opposite quality. It will increase kapha and also viparita madashitam dosha sankhata varthanam. When it is taken in the Shida condition, it will increase kapha, it will produce disease also. So these principles, if you are utilizing, every nook and corner you can see the effectiveness of Ayurveda. We have to go into details of the each and every line of the text and find out how it can be applicable in the modern era. So Shadanga Kashayam, Amritottaram Kashayam, Pajanam, I am not going to detail of it. So there is Karya Karana Siddhanta also. There may be Viprakrishta, Kalartha Karmanam Yogo Hina, that is Viprakrishta Karana, Piktoshanagi, etc. And there is Sannikrishta Karana, that is Ama, Dosha, etc. Sannikrishta Karana. And Viprakrishta Karana also we have to find out. When a disease comes, we have to find out what is the Viprakrishta Karana and Sannikrishta Karana. Accordingly, we have to manage. So, I have got a clinical experience of it. One lady was not getting sleep at all, insomnia. She was not telling why. I asked her, and after some time talk, she was very close to me and told her son was studying in the college in some Coimbatore or something, and she could not see her son for 1 month. So she was not. She was very much attached that she could not sleep without seeing him. So I did not prescribe any medicines for that. I called her son and told, every week you have to come here and stay with your mother. She is worried about you only. And he told, she did not tell me, but she told me, I told. Then he was every week, he was coming here, stay with his mother, and she was having a very good sleep. No problem at all. So, for that sleeplessness, if we are giving some medicines, she has to go with that for a long time. And in some of the cases, we need not give medicines at all. So, that is the principle of Ayurveda. We have to find out the Viprakrishta or Sannikrishta Karanas and find out a remedy for it. So that is called Swabhava Uparamabhata. Tite Dabalabhacha Vyayama Snanamaitanam Gurvasat Nibdahyanam Yachanyat Jvaragari. In Jvara chapter is Swabhava, what are the causes behind the disease? If we stop that, disease subsides. So you need not give medicine sometimes. If a hyperacidity patient is taking spicy food, just by stopping spicy food, he will get result. Even though you are giving medicines, when he is taking the spicy food, he will not get effect of the medicines at all. So this is very much Swabhava Uparamabhata. That's Ayurveda prescribes. And Chikitsa Krama, according to, we have already told, Danthanam Svetanam Galo Yava Gustikta Goresa Malana. First thing, Yathavastham Kramena. This is very important. Though we can tell a treatment protocol, it depends on Avastha. What Avastha, what condition in the patient, accordingly we have to change the protocols. Krame, Yathavastham or Kramena. I already told the Krama, it can be done, or otherwise Yathavastham also. So Acharya has gone through all these conditions, and different conditions he will tell, and you have to adapt it accordingly. So Chikitsa Siddhanta, Vyathya Avastha Vibhagajna Pasyanarthan Pradikshana. Vyatyavastha is very much important. Upavasa, Deepanapajana, Shadangapana, and we have to see Tikta Pitte Visheshena Prayojya Kadukatta. Tikta Rasa should be utilized for Amapajana in the conditions of Pitta. While in Kapha conditions of Ama, Kapha associated Ama, we have to do Kadurasa. This is very important. Because Kadurasa, though you are giving in Amapajana in Paitya conditions, it will increase Pitta. Pitta is Pitta Samshamana and Amapajana. Kaduga, Kaphasamshamana, and Amavata. So you have to think about the rasas, Shadrasas, how it can be utilized. And Shastra is Nidarshana Matra. It's an example only. Shastra cannot tell all the things, about all the patients, different conditions. You have to study Shastra and apply it. We cannot tell all the things. It's a udaharana matra. Shastra udaharana matrameva. Shastra is an example. From that, from your intellect, you have to differentiate all these conditions. Shastram jyoti prakashat darshanam buddhiratmana tabhyam atasuyuktabhyam chigilsan na aparat. Shastram jyoti. It's a light. Shastra. Science is a light. Darshana is our eyes are darshanam buddhi, intellect. So intellect and also textual knowledge should unite for the treatment. Everything cannot be told in the Shastra, so you have to properly utilize the intellect. So Bhagaja, Pippali, DMK is the Shulagadutreya or Paitya, Kiratiktam, and Kabhaja, Valsagadi or Vyakhyadi Kashaya can be given. Jirnaswira, Viparidam, Joroshmanam, Jay, Pittam Jashaityada, Stehad, Vadam, Dhram, Tulyam, Yoga Samskara, Rakapam. I have already told it. There are some of the drugs which can be utilized in the Jirna Jwara. All the Tridoshas can be managed by these types of yogas. So, Kshira Prayoga, Kshirojidasya, Prakshina Shleshma, where Kshira can be utilized. This every diseases we have to utilize this principle. Kshirojidasya, only Kshira can be given. Those who have got Kshirojidatva, they can only there are lactose intolerance in some of the cases. You cannot give. Kshirojita should be there. And Prakshina Shleshmano, when kapha is decreased, Kshira can be. Daha Tadvada, when burning sensation and thirst is there, Kshiram Pitani Laksasya. In Vaidya condition, Pathyamapya Adhisara, even for Adhisara it can be. Normally, Kshira cannot be given in Adhisara, but where there is a Pitta vitiation too much, by Pitta Samsamana by Kshira, Adhisara is. So these things we have to see. And Mamana I have told in the conditions of Jara and Virejana Pittamba, Bhavitamba, Pakva Shegadam Hare, Samsanam Trinabi Balan. Virejana, Pitta and Kaphavita diseases, Virejana. Even Murdu Virejana is the treatment for Vata also. Vada Shobhakrama Sneha Sweda Samshodhanam Murdu. That Samshodhanam Murdu is Murdu Virejana. Murdu Virejana is a treatment for Vada. Tiksha Virejana is for Pitta and Kapha. Even in the conditions of jaundice, that is Kamala, Acharya tells, Murduvis Tikta Samyuktai Kamalidu Virejani. In Kamala, Murduvis Tikta Samyukta. Murdu Virejana should be Tikta Samyukta. Because Pitta is increased in Kamala and Avayava or the organomegaly has or the organ derangement has occurred. Tirsha Virejana cannot be advocated. So what we have to do? Mritu Virejana will decrease the doshas and also it will not be hazardous for the organelles. So there are different conditions we have to see. So Murdubi Tikta Samyukta also, not Kadu Samyukta. Kadu Samyukta will make disorder for the organ. So we have to see all these conditions and prescribe medicines. Then Vasti is Prakshina Kapavittasya, Trika Prishtagani Grihi, Deepta Bhatta Jagata, Anuvasana can be done. Snehavasti can be done in the Prakshina Tapha. Tapha Pitta, when it is decreased, we can use Anuvasana. While in Niruha, we can utilize in the conditions of Vada, where even the Kapha Pitta is there, it can be, all the Tridoshas can be pacified by Niruha. So that is why we are giving Niruha. Alternate days we are giving Niruha and Anuvasana, because Lukshana may sometimes occur by Niruha, and by Anuvasana it will be subsided. So there are some of the cases Nasya can be done, and I have Nasya is a treatment methodology. Some of in the cases of COVID-19, Aruchi occurs. And I had a patient who was always complaining about having no taste. And he was telling, I want to have some taste to take to my meals, etc. Doctor, will you please help me? Then I thought about it. What can be the dosha vitiation in such conditions? So, Bothako Rasana Asthai, Siras Bothaka Kapha is vitiated, and Prana Vayu is vitiated. So, in such conditions, we have to relieve this Vata Kapha. So, I prescribed Kapha, for Kapha, Gorojanadi Gudiga. It decreases Kapha, and Nasya with Narayana Taila, so that it pacifies the Vadas or regulates the Vata and corrects the Kapha, increases the Kapha. And after 14 days, he was having proper Ruchi. So it was a very good experience for me, and he was very much satisfied, and he was very happy to get the taste problem relieved. So we should have the principle of the doshas and treat accordingly. Certainly we will get result. And Rasayana also is prescribed. I told you already that protocol. In Jara, Radha Sadailam Lashunam, or Taila with the Lashuna is told as Rasayana in the cases of Jara. Not only this, many types of Rasayanas are there, Pushmanda Rasayana, all these things can be given according to the condition of the patient. Rasayanam, Prasastanam, Rasadinam, Ayanam, Mapyayanam, Rasayanam. Rasadi dhadus are maintained in the proper conditions so that health is preserved. So immunity also is developed by Rasayana. So even Deva Vyapasha Chikitsa also is told in the Jara Shapa Atharvana Mantrothe with Deva Vyapasha. Poshatayo Manayascha Sumantra Sadhu Guru Dvija Devata Puja Pritigara Manaso Vishayascha Gandhya Vishnu Vritam Dvara Mukram. Even some of the cases where they have faith in the Deva Vyapasha Chikitsa, we should not obstruct them. I have got a case where his son told an experience that his father was having cough and he was taking many medicines, no result was there. So the father told the son that you chant some mantras and from a acharya and give it to me. I will get good sleep. Son was not having faith in it, and he came and bought a water bottle that is from a shop, and